Hey, and welcome to another RPG Tools tutorial. Today we will talk about animated tiles and animated objects. So to get started, we will look at the tile settings we have. As you can see here, you can create animated water using tiles, and it's quite easy to do. So you just need to select your tile layer and then go to placement. And when you select the tile, I entered water here to only see the water tiles. When you select the tile, you can see the settings for this tile here. They are stored per level, so you can override that for new levels as you wish. When you select the tile, you can see the settings here, and the first setting is the animation speed, and this can be used for water or other fluids. So you can configure the speed in pixels per second and also the direction. So when I would change the minus to a plus, it would move to the other side. And the same for the y-axis. And of course you can also make it faster, so like that. Well, let's make it much faster like that. And there is also a shader you can assign to a tile, which I also used. There are a couple of water shaders. I experimented a bit with a couple of these. So Water 2 is the one I currently use, which looks a bit more like water as if you wouldn't use it. But without it, it looks already good enough, I would say. But you can play around with that. There are some of them are looking better, and there are also a few broken ones currently. But I will clean that up. Yeah, you can see the difference with the shader. It looks more like a wave, and without the shader, it looks very flat. Okay, here it's very extreme, and there are some issues here. So this shader is a bit broken. So let's use Water 2 for now. And there are also some other shaders I created for lava, as you can see here. We will also zoom in. So you have this animate effect, which works nice for lava, but you can also use it for other things. You can just try it if it looks good for other tiles too. So to see that, I enter volcanic. There are a couple of volcanic tiles, and here you can see the shader which I assigned. It's just called lava. And there is also a second one, which is used here, lava 2, and it creates some wobbling effect. You can also look at the source code. If you know how to write shader code, you can create your own shaders if you want to. But if not, you can just play around with these and pick some of them and check which ones look good for you. And besides that, you can place particle effects like that. It's a smoke effect. For that, you can just pick the correct layer, like the object layer in this case, and then you click on Add Particle Effect or Add particle emitter, sorry. And then we need to reset the shader here. That doesn't need the shader. And then click on browse. So in this case, we want to have a smoke effect, and then you can just place it somewhere. So in the other level, there are also a few examples. Let's reset the zoom. So here's another particle effect. It's a fire effect, which you can place on top of animated fire, for example. And here you can see another example of an animate object, which is just a static image. Let's see how that's configured. We select the correct layer and then select the object, then expand shaders. And here you can see the fragment shader is assigned to waving flag 2. And it should work for flags which are made like that, which are facing to you. But you can just play around with that. Yeah, here you also see the smoke effect, which works nice here. And there are also clouds which are animated when you play the game. Let's delete the cutscene. I don't want to show that in this tutorial. And we also don't need the music. So let's start the level here. And here you can see how the clouds are moving. And to do that, you can just select the object and then assign a script. So we go to Engine and Script. And here you can see the script is called horizontal movement.lua. And when you select the script, it automatically displays all the parameters. In this case, there's one parameter called speed, so it's just pixels per second. So you can modify that as you like and then test it in the game by pressing F5. And what I added recently is moving grass. So as you can see here, this grass is moving a bit. And okay, it's the background layer. I can show you how it works. I used a prefab for that. And I can show you how that works later. But first I will show you how it looks in the game. So there are two different types. This one just moves in the game when there is a unit above it, like that. And it works like that. It contains the shader. It's just called grass. And it also uses a custom Lua script called moving grass. And the Lua script has 3 parameters: the default speed, which is 0, which means it shouldn't move at all when there is no unit on top of it. And it has a moving speed, which is set to 4, and a deceleration. So it means how fast it will decelerate until it goes to the default speed, which is 0. And that's everything you need to get this effect, and you can tune the parameters you want, and you can use it with any image you want. It doesn't have to be grass, but it should work with a couple of plants or something like that. And here on top we have, let's zoom in. We also have this waving grass, but this should move all the time. And let's zoom in here too. But as you can see here, it's not synchronized. And by default, it would be synchronized, as you can see in the editor. But to get rid of that, I created the second script. It's called random moving grass. And you set the minimum speed and the maximum speed, and it will just pick a value between these two. And this is everything the script does. So it just picks a random value and then assigns it to the shader. And with that, you have some random moving grass, so you can just place that everywhere and tweak the parameters as you like. And you can also look at the Lua scripts. They're quite simple. So you could also have some global wind variable, for example, and then adjust the speed depending on this global wind variable and things like that. So you can do a lot of things with that. So yeah, have fun with that and let me know if you have any issues or if you have any ideas how to extend it.